Greetings, John Pinto, roving realtor, bon vivant, and I'm here with Chris Allen from Nelson Staffing. Hi, Chris.
Hello, good day.
Chris, how am I dressed today? Well, where does it look like I'm living?
You're appropriate for what we're about to talk about. Hawaiian, Polynesian.
Hawaiian. This is my Ren Spooner Hawaiian shirts that I bought in Hawaii on Oahu last year, and I've got my Trifold straw hat. We won't call it a Panama hat. And here we are in the dead of winter. We are in
Indeed.
the dead of winter.
Yes.
And what's the temperature today in Northern California?
It's about to hit 72.
It's about to hit 72.
Not horrible.
Yes. So we thought we would specifically talk about all of my friends and relatives and people that are not my friends and relatives in more inclement parts of the country. Say Chicago, New York, Boston, Washington, D.C., Milwaukee, Ohio. Pick something. Pick something. There's lots of baby boomers out there. They have highly appreciated homes. They are educated. They are experienced. They are bored. And tell us about the opportunity that could be out here for them today. How would you feel about having a whole new pool of people to recruit? Talk to us about what is the unemployment rate, first of all, in wine country, Napa,
Absolutely.
Sonoma.
Unemployment rate at its lowest, November, December, was 1.9%. So we just dropped a little below 2. California is among some of the tightest unemployment in the nation, and Napa and Sonoma as well struggle with some of the worst within California. It's definitely the award you don't want to win, but it creates interesting opportunities.
Very good. So let's talk specifically about baby boomers. And let's talk specifically about La Dolce Vita jobs. Now, I'm not going to make believe that when you work in a winery, you're not working your tuchus off.
Sure.
Okay? But you're working your tuchus off in a beautiful chateau.
Absolutely.
Amongst the vineyards and beautiful weather.
Yep.
You're meeting new people every day.
Yep.
You're serving great products or whatever the status may be. So can you tell us a little bit about maybe enticing environments and jobs that would motivate people to uproot themselves from their areas that are, say, less clement,
Absolutely.
and move out here? What would that look like?
For sure. I'll start with a quick story. My favorite story in terms of exactly what you're talking about. And this can be anybody, but along with the wine industry, which is our biggest industry out here, hospitality's hand in hand with that, right? The actual wine clubs, the different tasting rooms, all the areas in which wine ends up talking to the ultimate customer. I met this gentleman at one of my clients. He was the ex-principal at a particular school working in the tasting room. So he was my client, needed people to help with serving wine and meeting tourists, just like you say. Yes, you work hard, but you're being social and everything else. He very quickly, because of his experience, because of his wisdom and the different jobs he had done, right, his work experience, got promoted to the manager of the tasting room. And so that was fine and wonderful, and we had our business relationship. But within months, we're having a meeting, and he says to me, "Chris, I'm demoting myself." I said, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? What's going on?" He goes, "Well, I became the manager, and that was great, and it was more experience, and I know how to do it, but I'm not in front of the people as much. I'm not enjoying that social interaction as much." And quite frankly, he wasn't earning as much, which was interesting because you get commissions when you're on the actual tasting room floor directly with all of the tourists and the different customers that come in. And so it was an interesting just tale of how he liked to be at that level where he was interfacing with the public, and the job itself incentivizes that, right? It's have a good time, introduce them to the wines, educate them about the wines, and then ultimately, yes, if you can, have them leave with a few bottles or ideally a wine club membership, right? Oh. So that would be an obvious area that anybody who's sociable, who likes interaction, which clearly you're not, right? But come on out, and with that experience, just learn to talk, build that relationship. It's not hard sales with wine, it's with wine. It's a wonderful relationship, and you're just building that good time, as I know you love to do at Inglenook.
Yes. Yeah. And how often do positions like that come up, and at any one given time, how many positions like that do you have?
That's a great question. It is seasonal. Tourism is seasonal here. So we can get as high as double digits quite easily during the peak of the summer season when all the tourists are coming. But the really, really good ones that are interacting well and earning good commissions, they will also be held on through the quieter months. You know, they might keep 1, 2, 3, a handful, because we are year-round tourism, as you say. We're dressed kind of fairly warm, and so there's always some. You know, we have about 1,000. I think it's actually something like 1,200 wineries now, and 800 to 900 tasting rooms. And the downtowns are exploding with tasting rooms as well. Not necessarily at the winery anymore, but a purpose-built downtown tasting room. And there's plenty of those, and they're lovely as well. And those are churning.
And what kind of hours do those kinds of jobs call for?
So that's an interesting one. They're because of tourism slightly askew. Right, the seasonal hottest times are Thursday through Sunday, right, when the tourism would be happening.
Thursday through Sunday, that's beautiful.
That's
that
not
means
horrible.
You could have Monday,
Correct.
Tuesday, and Wednesday to yourself.
Absolutely, and when it's quieter out to run your errands and everything else, do your groceries and that. And then during peak, though, you can absolutely be even up to 7 days a week. It's a conversation of overtime with your boss if you want, et cetera. It's really as much and as little as you want if you're good at it. You know, that social aspect is something that everybody is looking for, and not everybody has it. So your employer, if you're good at it, will flex with you.
I'm thinking that hours are probably 10, 11 a.m. to 5, 6 p.m.
Absolutely, yes. I think we have some wineries that open as early as 9, but yeah, 9 or 10 to 5 or 6. I've seen some wineries now 5:30, 6 p.m. Most are 5, though, absolutely. So reasonable hours, I would
Let's
say.
talk a little bit about benefits. Number one, I'm going to talk about a little known benefit, and I like that Nelson cup you have. Very nice branding there.
I had to do it.
It would be better if we had some Lagavulin 16 in it, you know, but
Yes.
we'll save that for another interview. So let's talk about some obvious and some not so obvious benefits of working in a tasting room. First of all, steps. You're
Yeah.
going to get your 10,000 steps in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you care to speculate on how many steps you might get in during the course of the day?
It's funny you say that. I've heard people talk about it with their step counters and everything, but I don't recall a certain number. It's certainly thousands. I would say that. And different wineries, of course, with literal steps, whether it be staircases on different verandas or whatever, or others are nice and open and flat. But yeah, they can be large. These inside, outside, all kinds of environments.
I think that is a great payoff. I mean, who the heck wants to be on a stepper inside a gym? I'd much rather be walking around a winery,
Absolutely.
making witty repartee. Let's talk about the kinds of benefits packages.
Sure.
You know, some of these people might be on Medicare already with supplements, so they might not need health insurance as much
Sure.
as other people. But let's talk about what kind of benefits packages might these kinds of jobs entail.
It's all the normal stuff. It really is. They have
I don't.
401k.
I've been an
They have-
entrepreneur for 46 years. I
Okay.
don't know what the normal
Fair
stuff
enough,
is.
Fair enough. Gosh, what are the core these days? Medical, dental, vision, 401k. Not everybody's matching, but they're trying to improve upon that. So those are your normally your core. I think I said vision, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ultimately really the commission plans for the hospitality ones, though. That just the sheer earning part that would make up. You could get anything else you would wanted privately, but they do have, and this is when they hire them. Sorry to be clear, when they hire them. So if they were full time, again being seasonal for this particular role, it might not be uncommon that they just work however many hours they work, and then when things slow down, they might still keep you on through the winter season, but just less hours. So you might not get the benefits unless you were hired, like the story I told, though, where he became the manager and then demoted himself. So
That's
it's
a
all
good-
up to your own kind of formula.
That's a good
what you're
story.
needing.
And what kind? Well, I guess you don't have to worry about vacation time because there's going to be plenty of vacation time in the slow season, right?
Absolutely. If that's what you chose to do, is let yourself off and have winter be the quieter time, go travel, do whatever, they would be fine with that. Very commonly, most of our tasting rooms will have very specific people they know. And when things warm up, in a particular order, I want this person, I want that person, is this person available? You will become that commodity, that asked for person that they want, right? Not just anybody, but I want that person. And so name recognition, ask for you by name. And a lot of times then as well, they'll get competitive because if other tasting rooms learn about you as well, suddenly everybody's going, oh, can I have Chris or can I have John or is so-and-so available? And I even had this last weekend. I had exactly that happen where somebody called out for a very specific person they were working at another one of our properties.
I never thought that this could be so attractive with so much upside, so much motivation. I'll throw something at you and the viewing audience. I watched a show, I don't know if it was Netflix or Amazon Prime, Eileen Brennan, Commanding the Kitchen, Commander's Palace in New Orleans.
Okay.
Talking about how her approach to hospitality. And there is no limit to the upside you have working in a tasting room, making for a fantastic experience where people
Absolutely.
are just going to be, all they're going to be thinking about is when they're going to come back and see you.
Absolutely, and it doesn't stop from there. The tasting rooms are kind of the equivalent of, say, old school customer service days. As I say, they promote from there.
Yeah.
If you have good experience, if you have good customer service, which the whole industry is about, you can very quickly move up. I mean, we have HR jobs that come out of those kinds of areas. We have accounting. Nelson does a whole accounting thing that covers those areas as well. Another branch, but I can help
Yeah.
you get in touch with them. I said HR. I think we do marketing. Project management, wine club managers. A winery is an entire business unto of itself with all the different roles that you would think any company needs. And so it might even be this push and this pull for your clients and the people that are watching this video about, well, I start here, and like that story, they keep drawing them into another role, and you have to decide, do I want to stay where I'm at? And that's the sort of circumstance that I like, or am I willing to get pulled into kind of the mothership of the winery, which will happen. You will get offers, you will get asked to move into other roles.
And of course, there's going to be accounting jobs, fulfillment jobs.
Absolutely.
There's going to be it's a regular
Logistics,
business.
Absolutely, yes, all types. Every type that's in a regular business is in most of these wineries. Now, there's some very small ones that can be family owned, but again, there's plenty of the big ones that are there.
Yeah, well, this is very exciting. When we embarked on this topic, I didn't even think it was going to be this exciting.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's just summarize then. If you are a homeowner in the South Bay of San Francisco Bay Area, East Bay, Peninsula, San Francisco, Marin, and you've got this highly appreciated house with all kinds of equity, and you have a retirement, but maybe it isn't supporting the kind of lifestyle that you would really prefer to live, and maybe you're at home bored watching Fox News and or MSNBC and or CNN. Will be an equal opportunity slammer here, and you're thinking, I want to get out, I want to be active, I'd like to make a few more bucks. I'd like to unleash all the equity in my house, and there are ways of selling those properties without having to pay massive long-term capital gains taxes. It's in my current newsletter. If you're interested in getting my newsletter, text me at 408-829-4141, and I'll send you the newsletter. Of course, the last time we did our Facebook Live, Chris, my very dear friend Ginny Junta, who's an investigator for the mayor's office at the city of New York. She was watching. That was a 45-minute video, and 30 minutes through it, she said, "I'll watch the rest later. I gotta go back to work."
Fair enough. We understand.
But Ginny, we'd love to get you out to California, maybe working in one of those tasting rooms. A couple of them even have kitchens. Oh my God, you would be a terror in the kitchen. So, Chris, why don't you sign off with your contact information? How do people contact you? Sure. And we'll go from there.
Email callen, ALLEN, @nelsonstaffing.com. That's pretty simple. Or you can call me on my mobile, 707-400-9400. Love to talk to anybody out there about how it would work, the possibilities. Would my experience translate? The answer is probably going to be yes, but let's have the conversation.
Very good. Well, that was very exciting. Thank you, Chris.
No problem. Thank you very much.